I'm trying to see if we can figure out how to bridge the gap between black men and black women on this episode, right? The ones that are looking for the black women that are looking for black men, and the black men that are actively looking for black women to be in a relationship with. So that's why I asked you to talk about some of the challenges that they're dealing with. So my next question to you is like, when you're hearing these things that are coming from black women, black men, let's start with black women specifically, not being able to find black men, what do you think are some things black women can do to be in spaces with good black men that are actually like healthy and looking for relationships?
Yeah, first of all, that's a great question. And I was speaking on a panel in Atlanta, and there was a lady in the audience, and she honed into me and the other guy who was on the panel. And she was like, where do we go? What do we do? And I think my approach when it comes to love and like looking for love, it's not about where you go, right? Like I can list you all these places, the bar, the library, the gym, Pilates, whatever it is. And just because you go there doesn't mean there are people of quality in those spaces.
Right.
So I think like where I usually tell people is like, first and foremost, let's focus on you. Where are you? And not just like location, but like, where are you mentally? Where are you spiritually? Where are you financially? Where are you when it comes to like what you're looking for, what you're trying to find in somebody? Like, let's identify these aspects first, because these aspects and understanding what you need are going to empower you in how you date. When you have no understanding of what you need, what you want, what you're looking for, then you're going out and you're accepting anyone and everybody. And through doing that, that's when you have a lot more terrible experiences, because you're letting go of discernment and you don't have a guide in this dating scene. So when it comes to women, when it comes to men, I usually always start about, what do you need? And you'll be surprised how many people will say they're emotionally intelligent, will say that they know what they want and all these things. But when you get down to the core of what do you need, they have no clue.
So you're saying people just out here just doing whatever, basically? I'm
saying they're out here not moving with intentionality in the way that they think and with discernment in which they think.
Okay, so then how do we get them to a space where they're moving with intentionality and discernment? Is that the what you need question?
I think that's where it really gets down to. And it's like, what are you looking for exactly?
Right.
Like, are you looking for somebody who is emotionally open, right? So let's say that's the key. Like, you want somebody who's emotionally open and emotionally intelligent, right? If that is what you want, stand on that boundary.
Right.
Stand firm on that. Because if you're going to a place and you're talking to somebody and this person is very closed off, what we end up doing is we try to turn the person into a project. And when we turn the person into a project, then we're trying to help them get to a place rather than recognizing they are not at the place at all and going for who that person is. And I think the problem is because a lot of people feel like there's a lack of options. And statistically speaking, like especially for black women, there are a lack of options when it comes to like black men. But like when you kind of focus on like there's not that many people out there and it's really hard and I'm in a city that's not really equipped with all these elements and all these aspects, then we start to hone into like one person and we make them our end all be all. Right. That's the one. Right. And I'm going to do everything in my power to make the one work out and make the one happen. And then you pour so much into that when you don't even realize that you had multiple signs of that person not being at that place where you need and what you're looking for.
Yeah, man. You know that, man. Oh, man, brother. Oh, man, you got me going back. Man, I'm just thinking about a time in my life where I was dating somebody's potential versus who they were, bro. Man, and it's so hard because the potential that you see is oftentimes so clear that it makes what you're actually seeing seem like, nah, there's no way this is the reality. And so you can get stuck believing that, nah, this is not actually the potential that I see for them. This is actually who they are, because you've convinced yourself that the potential that you see for them is actually where they're going to be in a certain number of days, whatever the case may be. And so you just keep extending that timeline because you're like, nah, I know if I just give them some more time, and you feel like you're doing the right thing because you feel like you're giving them grace and you're forgiving all the mistakes and you're trying to make sure you work with them. You're seeing content where it's like, you know, people nowadays in relationships, are so quick to leave, and you need to stick things out. Back in my day, so you're like, nah, you know what? Maybe I just need to stick it out. Like, I'm just working with this person's potential. They're a good person, and I know they can get to where I need them to get to. But you got to realize, like you said, at some point in time, like, if that person is not at that place, you got to ask yourself, are you comfortable with the person that they are today? And do you feel like the person they are today is someone that you would want to spend the rest of your life with? That's someone you want to get married to.
And to that point,
go ahead.
What I want to add on to is I think sometimes the reason why, rather than looking for a person, we're looking for a project, because there's a displacement of responsibility when it comes to that person.
Okay, explain that.
So when it comes to like a lot of us, we feel as if when we're healing, intentionally we're thinking like, I'm healing with hopes that I will be rewarded a relationship.
Okay.
So there's a lot of people who aren't even healing in the right way because they're trying to heal to get partnership rather than healing for themselves.
Right.
But what ends up happening is like they'll heal to get to a certain place for this partnership. They'll find somebody and now they feel justified walking into the situation because I did the work. Right. I did the work, but you're not quite there yet. So rather than me having to focus on the work that I need to continuously still do on myself, let me help you get to a place where where I want you to be. So it's like, I don't have to do the work anymore because I'm working on you to get to this place. So we're displacing the responsibility that we're supposed to be placing on ourselves onto somebody else to get them to become this person. And that's why we often like focus on those projects and turning people into a project, is because it's a reminder that we are subconsciously, we're a little bit above. So we don't really have to do the work because I'm the one directing you.
Yeah.
When the roles are reversed though, it's hard for us to take that. Yeah. What do you mean I'm not? Like, I feel like I'm in a good, and that's where a lot of times like the insecurity might come out. That's where we kind of put on that mask of like, what do you mean? I'm good. I don't need that. I figure out where I'm at. But I think a lot of times like the ways in which we date are based in how we feel about ourselves and based in our healing journey. And I think, of course, like a healing journey is continuous, right? It's ongoing, like always. But I think sometimes we try to displace or try to like, you know what? I don't want to heal right now because I finally at a place where I'm open for a relationship. Now let me go find a relationship and then I can get back to healing. But it's like, no, it's an ongoing process and you still got to focus on you even when you're looking and dating and trying to meet different people.